Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse, and tonight Rachel's Ghost is back. We're doing a live discussion. The chat room is open. We want to hear from you. Let's get ready.
Talking bands that no one talks about. Grant's Rock Warehouse.
That's right. We talk bands that no one talks about. Hell, I'm sure we'll talk about some bands that no one talks about tonight. But I want to welcome Rachel from Rachel's Ghost here tonight. She's here. We had Rachel back in October, and we had such a great time. We thought we would do it again, and here we are. Rachel, welcome to the warehouse. Nice to see you. How are you tonight?
This is so professional.
I'm a damn professional, Rachel.
Listen, you got great graphics. You got Rachel's Ghost beautiful. There's an outline, font, white, gorgeous.
Yes.
It's almost an embossed look. You got live discussion, the intro, the splash. It's professional. It's like, we're coming rocking right in. It's going to be real special. Bow!
I have to run it because my background originally, Rachel, I was a communication major at Ohio State studying television production.
Holy
so
crap.
That's pretty much all you need to know.
It's like I'm strapped in. Oh, my breasts. But anyway, and I'm all on here.
It goes back to this morning.
And we're just flying in there, and it's so professional. Grant, it is I'm thrilled, positively thrilled to be here. A guest on your ever-growing, the popularities, you're right. This has been 2023. It's been a good year for you and your channel. It has gone to places that few channels have gone.
Well, this channel will be 2 years old in April.
2 years in April.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're just rocking it. I'm happy to be here. We'll talk about rock and roll and music and stuff.
Of course.
And okay? Keep going. Whatever you want to do, I am here. Hello, Ernesto. Hello.
Yeah, I didn't even say. Well, you and I are already just shooting the shit, so I didn't even forget about everybody. Hey, I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. This has been great, Ernesto.
Lori's here.
God, I don't have my glasses on. I can't see. Brian C.
I want to get
Mick. Huh?
I want to get John Lennon round ones. I had a pair like that a long time ago. For years I had them. I should get them back. Maybe through Zenny Eyewear. Now, have you got any sponsors yet?
No.
It's going to happen for you.
How's that work? Do you have sponsors?
Well, I
don't know how that works.
Everybody, listen. It's hard. Like once you get going and you become a thing, then yeah, it's quite possible somebody could reach out to you. Maybe the people that make remember 45, Michael 45 got the knife. He got a special knife. It was called a George or something.
Yeah.
And you could open up records and stuff with it. Anyway, I'm happy to be here. I'm thrilled, man. So what was the big buy for you of 20? Let's do it. This will be your last opportunity before 2024 turns around.
Right.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions, and did you meet them?
I didn't have any New Year's resolutions. It's just getting through one day after another.
Right.
Because last week, let me just go over my last week for an instance.
Yeah.
I didn't have a show on Monday. I had 3 shows on Tuesday, 2 shows on Wednesday, 2 shows on Thursday. I didn't have anything Friday. It's just, and next week's really booked before Christmas. So
yeah,
I don't know. There's a lot of shows going on.
Yeah. And you have listening parties and stuff. Like my thing is so easy. Like I do a daily live stream. So I show up for 6 to 9 Pacific daily over on my TV show. I call it the TV show because I think it's a
TV show.
Yeah, I call it TV show because a lot of people also watch it on their TVs. Like I watch you and everybody out on my TV because it's so comfortable. I got a big recliner thing rather than sitting at the computer where I'm at all day, for 3 hours a day anyway. And I go into my music room, which I'm doing in the midst of doing a, what do you call it? I'm doing a room tour video. We're putting together, I bought speaking of your communication, your professional presentation, I got myself a little dolly. It looks like an old-timey roller skate. And I put my iPhone on it and I just, Sue ran the thing. I call her my producer. She's my much better half. She's sitting right here next to me. But the roller skate moves along here, all my DVDs and movies, right? I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to bring it out here and I'm going to run it. I'm going to do a little setup, a couple of pedestals of plank, get the skate on, and I'm just going to film running across the the length of my.
Is it electronic? How's it?
No, it's people powered. It's the cheapest freaking thing you can do. You can buy motorized ones, professional. They go at a set speed. This is all just hand-eye. Keep it at an even speed, 60 frames per second. Slow it down to slow-mo, and then, it'll have that, add the right mood to it. And then I've got a gimbal. I've been driving my audience crazy with my gimbal talk.
I've got a gimbal.
Yeah, you need a gimbal for professional presentation. Of course, you have a gimbal.
Well, yeah, but I'm using it. I'll be using it more like on the 80s cruise when we go on that. Because when I go on the 80s cruise, there's going to be so much content that I'm just going to be.
Okay, so give me a rundown. But we'll go back to this 20-year in review.
Yeah, yes.
But
whatever. We can go do that.
Listen, so tell me about the cruise. Who's going to be on the cruise and when is it?
Well, the 80s cruise starts in February.
February.
It's like February 28th.
Yeah.
And starts out of Cape Canaveral, but this year.
Canaveral?
Cape Canaveral.
Isn't it Cape Kennedy? Didn't they get rid of Cape Canaveral?
I don't know. Maybe it's Cape. I don't know.
To Kennedy?
I thought it was Cape Canaveral.
Cape Canaveral?
Isn't that in Florida?
Well, yeah, but so is Cape Kennedy.
I don't know. Who knows? Does anybody know what it is?
Canaveral or Cape Kennedy?
But this one, I'm looking at the lineup because I can't remember. 38 Special, Soft Cell, Air Supply, and believe it or not, you may laugh. Some people may laugh at Air Supply, but they have such a huge. If you look on YouTube and look at their videos and stuff, they have a bazillion hits. And like if someone posts footage like from a current concert, goes through the roof.
Are you much of a singer? Because maybe we can get the views up. I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I knew it was wrong. Feeling without you. That's
Cape. Wait a minute. Look, Ernesto says it's Cape Canaveral.
Cape Canaveral. Okay, so what happened? What the hell happened to Cape Kennedy in their house?
I don't know.
Remember Cape Kennedy? Okay, now I'm going to look up Cape Kennedy.
Go ahead. But Debbie Gibson's going to be on the boat.
Who?
Debbie Gibson.
Oh.
Sebastian Bach.
Oh. Here it is. Look at this. Cape Canaveral. It was officially Cape Kennedy from 1963 to 73.
Okay.
So from 63 to 7, this explains everything. I'm so very elderly. Listen, Grant, you're just a young little kid. You turned 21 last week. I know.
Oh my God.
Yes.
You say that, but it's not true.
As a youngster, 63 to 73, it was Cape Kennedy. So when they went to the moon and everything, it was Cape Kennedy.
Okay.
So no wonder I call it Cape Kennedy. You young people with your ways, Grant, I just can't believe it. But for us old timers, gosh, as children of the 60s, it was Cape Kennedy.
Okay.
I won a first prize in my science project in 1969, 1970 for my Apollo 11 space project.
Well, then you're like an expert in this then.
Well, I was an astrophysicist. Now, the interesting thing, Grant, though, this is a true story. Once upon a time, a long time ago, what I call boy world, okay, when I was running around with the tackle and berries and stuff, which I got rid of it, or plumbing superior. But anyway, too much information, I understand. But anyway, so the point is I'm working on a lot, right? And I'm a lot boy. And I had to join the union. The union I had to join on the lot boy, it was like, gee, boss, I never fixed a transmission before. And I got my little hose and I'm filling up the little batteries with water because the batteries needed water in those days because they were fire batteries. And my union was the United Association Machinists and Aerospace Workers. I kid you not. I had to pay my union dues.
Well, then you're like an astrophysicist.
I could get us to the moon because apparently they've forgotten how to do it all. Did you hear about that, Grant?
I didn't know they forgot.
They forgot. That's why we haven't been back. They don't know how to do it no more.
Well, there's a lot of people think that we didn't go.
We went. I saw the pictures. Pictures don't lie.
I saw it when I was a little kid on TV.
That's me too. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. That moment I missed. We're driving into Penticton, a little town in the Okanagan Valley in British Columbia, Canada. This is a nice little resort area. where my aunt lived and my mom was born and all this stuff. We're on vacation. We're driving across Canada from Manitoba and we're rushing in. Okay. And I'm going, they're going to land on the moon. Dad, they're landing on the moon. Can you speed up the car so we can get on the moon? Right? They're going to be on the moon. So then what happened is that as we're driving in, my dad goes, shut up, right? Because it's old school. It's old school dad drive. Shut up, kids, right? And I'm like, God, but Dad, they're going to be on the moon. We get to my aunt's place. The door opens. There's my aunt to greet us. Hello, children. You know, all this sort of thing. I go in, where's the TV? Right? I'm 11 years old, Grant. I'm 11.
11.
I fly in front of the TV. I sit myself down. I turn it on. And I'm watching, and I'm so mad because they're already bouncing around on the moon. I go, oh, shit, I missed the actual landing. So I never did see, because then my girl cousin, Gwen, she comes out of the back somehow, and she's in tears. She goes, oh, Uncle Dave, my dad, Uncle David, and Auntie Betty, my mom. And she's all crying. And I'm going, what the hell, Gwen, what's wrong with Gwen? So Gwen's going through a divorce, okay? Oh. So she's all sad. She's announcing to the parents that the marriage is now gone. And I'm going, they're on the moon. I'm the 11-year-old in front of the TV telling the whole family. Nobody cares because everybody's focused on Gwen and her divorce. Anyway, that's how I recall the moon landing and everything. It was very exciting.
That's one of those memories because I was 69. I was like, well, 4, maybe 3 or 4, but holy crap, I still remember it like it was yesterday because it was a big deal, you know.
So can you get my science project award so I can show Grant?
Oh yeah, we need to see that.
Yeah, I've got it's in my important papers. It's in my important papers so anyway, let's look back in the year in review. So in February,
yes.
But
February going to the 80s cruise, and Sebastian Bach, Stephen Pearcy of Rat, the English Beat.
Oh, wow.
Ray Parker Jr. is going to be there. Sheena Easton, Wang Chung.
Now, are you going to be wearing a Ghostbusters shirt or anything?
Of course.
Because I would. Which one do you want to get with? Like, is it a possibility that you can rub shoulders, or will they try and avoid you as much as possible?
No. When we went last year, you would see people in the hallways all the time. The artists are walking around.
Wow. And what do? You just go, hey, Kathy, looking good. Yeah.
No, I saw the guy from the Smithereens and I said, hey, how's it going? You know, I tried to get an interview with him, but I couldn't get it together.
Oh, now why is that? Now, is it hard to do the interviews?
Well, no, but the ship also has interviews. They'll have like, you know, where everyone can come and do an auditorium.
And they'll sit on the chair and they'll be with the mic and go, hey, everybody, great to see you. Well, it was quite a time, wasn't it, for us all in the 80s? Anybody remember the 80s here? And they had to go up.
But I thought maybe I could get a one-on-one with somebody, but I'm going to try this year and see what happens.
Wouldn't that be cool if you get like with that Kathy Gibson? Is that the name, Kathy Gibson?
You mean Debbie Gibson?
Yeah, that Debbie Gibson.
Oh, Debbie Gibson. I think that's funny.
Wouldn't that be great? You got into her cabin, 2 of you just in there.
Hanging out, me and Debbie. Champagne. Yeah, that'd be great.
A little glass of champagne, yeah. You know.
But they have like a lot of DJs and stuff, and they've got Mark Goodman and Alan Hunter and Downtown Julie Brown are the hosts.
That's the MTV thing.
Yeah. So it's fun.
Well, that'd be great. Now, is there shuffleboard and stuff?
Is there what?
Shuffleboard.
I don't know. I don't know. They jam pack so much on the damn cruise. It's like one event to another event to another event, and it's all inclusive, so you can eat, drink, and be merry.
Well, so I'm in Nanaimo. I'm in Nanaimo, Canada. I can translate this. Morris says, I spent all my teenage years in 80s live on Much Music.
I know what that is.
That's our version of MTV.
Now, does Much Music still exist, or is it?
It exists exactly like MTV exists.
Well, okay.
No music on there anymore. It's all, reality TV shows and that sort of thing.
I still think that that's amazing that that's how everything changed. Everything they took
Because
those channels and just
we
totally.
get it because we play our music and YouTube and stuff, right? They can't compete.
There you go. Sheena still looks good. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'll see her up close. I'm just surprised she's out. I didn't, like last year we had who was the what's her name? Kim Wilde was on the ship.
Okay, rock and
And
roll.
Kim never comes over and tours, but she was here on the 80s cruise, and that was kind of a big deal. She was wonderful.
Like hard rock? Was Kim Wilde hard rock, or did she do Kids in America?
She did Kids in America.
Yeah,
but she had other hits. She had other hits, but not so much here. But
I watch a lot of videos too and stuff. So, what was the highlight of 2023 for you for collecting? What was the number one thing you added to the collection?
Oh my God, the collection.
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
Can be.
I have to think about it. What was yours?
Oh, easy. I made a New Year's. First of all, I made a resolution. I made a New Year's resolution. I said I want to get the UK monos.
Mm-hmm.
I nearly accomplished the resolution. I got most of them. I'm missing Rubber Soul. I'm missing Revolver, and then I'm also missing White Album in mono. But I don't care about the White Album mono. I got a 68 first press UK stereo, so I'm okay with that. But it would be nice to get Rubber Soul and Revolver. It looks like that's not going to happen before the year is over. That's okay. The other resolution was that I missed out on the Beatles mono box. Did you get that?
The repress?
Yeah, from 2014.
Oh, originally.
Yeah, the 2014.
Well, I didn't buy the box, but I bought them individually.
Okay, so I'm doing that now, but it cost me a hell of a lot more probably for me now than it did for you.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to hear what happened because I've got the CD box set. And of course, this is going to probably set the internet on fire, but I'm just perfectly happy with the CD box set. That's fine. I think it sounds great. So I ended up selling those mono and made a lot of money.
Okay.
But I did it like 2 years ago. So, I should have waited around.
Okay. Yeah. Because they are going for big bucks now. So I'm doing what you did, but I'm doing it piecemeal. Mm-hmm. And so I finished up with Frank over Mr. Stickermania. Mm-hmm. And I was in a very bad mood. I was in foul mood. I had to apologize to Sue like about 3 or 4 times while I was melting down yesterday.
Oh no!
Well, because it cost me $400 Canadian for 2 records. Yeah.
You sure that didn't cause Sue to melt down?
No, she's really good. She surrendered. She knows. Sue's. I'm so blessed. She's right in on me with this. And so what happened was. Anyway, so $400, Mr. But when I was on eBay, you go through eBay, right? Mm-hmm. And I hadn't used eBay in a long time. I had my old address. Now I have got a forwarding on it, but it's got tracking on the package. It's just a little bit of I'm a little nervous about it, but anyway, because it's like, they're sealed, they're mint, they've never been played or opened even. They're in the shrink. Mm-hmm. And they're on their way to my old address because as soon as I did it, there's no chance to go check address before you go. If you're on eBay and you go sell, boom, bang, that you're locked in already because it says, we got your address. We're all ready to go with you.
Right.
And then I went, shit, that's not my address. That's my old address. I got to change the address to the new one. Anyway, and I told Frank, but there was a breakdown, miscommunication or something, and it went to the other address. So anyway, so now I got to wait. And of course, he's in Louisville, Kentucky. Mm-hmm. It's going to go into I call it the black hole of Chicago for mail. It'll float around there for about 3 weeks, just in their system, bopping around. And then it'll spit itself out. And I'll end up going to Mississauga or something, Ontario, and then it's going to go west.
Chauncey without Mazzy.
Yeah.
Well, Mazzy's never been on here before.
So, well, we love Mazzy. We get Mazzy up one of these days.
Sure.
You could do a thing with Mazzy. Mazzy's a great guest, a very knowledgeable guy. We love Mazzy. This guy's great too, Michael Nolan.
Yeah. Just to let you new folks know, you need to move in for a minute, Rachel. What's that mean?
Well, like, I guess, I got to move into their house for a bit, go back and reclaim the old address, residence,
Oh,
maybe cook up some hot dogs, and then ding dong. Oh, here's my little package. Well, gotta go, and head back over here. So
yeah.
that got me a little, frustrated. It's frustrating.
Well, that's frustrating. That's a lot of dough, too.
Yeah. And
I mean, Rachel, you've got it bad.
I know. And then the other problem I had is that Terry Draper, I interviewed Terry Draper, the drummer from Clad 2.
Yeah, I saw.
And he's great. So he reached out to me, say, hey, do you want to get together again? I go, yeah, Terry, let's do it. He's got a new album out.
Yeah, awesome.
So Terry, what about the 14th, right? How about a couple of days ago was the 14th? I go, how about the 14th December we get together? Because he goes, I'm in Florida. I can't do it right now. Maybe. And I go, well, how about the 14th? He doesn't answer. But he does answer on some other stuff, but he never confirmed how for me. Yeah, the 14th is it. So then he goes, Rachel, I get this text. Rachel, I go, oh shit. So now I've emailed. I said, so sorry. Maybe at a later date. How do you feel? Please, get back to me. He hasn't texted me. So now I've got. It's a sad story, Grant. I got Corey Hart mad at me way back from the Boy in the Box story. He's mad.
Wait a minute, you got Corey Hart mad at you?
Yeah, he's mad.
Are you saying sunglasses at night, Corey Hart?
Yeah, that guy. He's mad at me. And then Jerry Shirley from Humble Pie, he's mad at me.
What are you trying to get these people lined up, or what?
No, like I've alienated Terry Draper from Clap 2.
Oh, you might not alienate. Maybe he's not a texter or an emailer. Maybe he doesn't get on there very often.
All right. I'm hoping.
You got to give people the benefit of the doubt.
All right.
He'll get with you when he
Terry,
can get
don't
with
be
you.
mad at me. Okay?
Terry, for crying out loud. I know you're probably watching.
Yes. He will be.
He will be. But contact Rachel, for crying out loud. But I love Terry's work. That Clat 2 stuff.
Yeah.
I've got all the Clat 2 stuff.
He co-wrote Calling Occupants.
Magenta Lane. It's a great record.
Yeah, I got them all.
I got them all. Get them all today, kids. Highly recommend any of the Clat 2 stuff. I don't even mind that one record that's not even really a Clat 2 album that was all done with studio musicians. Endangered Species, that's kind of questionable, but it's not like it's...
But Knee Deep in Love is such a good song.
Yeah, it's good. I recommend it.
You are the one. You're not the one. Something like that. I'm knee deep in love. Diddle-doo.
Yeah, Michael's getting some props from Ernesto.
Michael is loved by everybody, and he's a big Clat 2 fan. Michael, I should try and get you on with the talk to Terry with me. That would be you, me, and Terry just hanging out talk. We'll see. Maybe I'll sweeten the pot because he's mad at me. That would be good.
Maybe Michael's got some clout with Terry.
My best may say, I don't like, but I like this Michael guy. And I will talk to him and answer all the great questions.
Johnny says he's got some of Terry's material as well. I have not heard any of his solo stuff.
He's good. It's prog. It's more prog.
It's prog?
Too. Yeah, he's a prog guy. P-R-O-G, progressive rock.
We like prog.
I know. I like prog. You like prog. We both like prog.
We're all
I love what you got going. You got like a lava lamp thing happen before.
Well, that's a groove light. That's called a groove wheel, which is oil, like in the 60s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, one pill makes you smaller, another makes you tall.
Problem is, it's old. I have had it since the 90s, and I just wish it was a little bit brighter.
I'm old. That's fine. I'm good with old.
But it works.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway,
so
for 2023, my resolution was to get UK and I did pretty good. I got a lot of them. I just need 2 more. And then it was to get the 2014 box. That one I did achieve. I got it all.
Have you compared the 2014 with the original press?
The original pressings are better. They're brighter. They're more
still better.
They're still the best there is. Yeah. And I don't know why, but they are for me. But you know what? I don't care. Here's the thing, Grant.
Yeah.
As a listener, I got a pretty good system behind me here. I rock and roll. And I reintroduced my budgie preamp back in the chain. But the thing is that when I go reaching out for Beatles, I could even put on a Beatles CD. I'm happy. I just go in there. Here's my Beatles, Grant. I'll pull back here. These are all Beatles there.
Holy crap. Nice.
Those are the Beatles' main 13 albums. Okay. in various flavors, some Canadian in there, some American. The UKs are in there, various issues here, there, and everywhere. Over here, up to about there, and then back are Beatles, like the Beatles Mono Masters. That's that white piece there.
Yeah.
Beatles Mono, Hollywood Bowl, Beatles love songs, that kind of thing. Collections, comps, rock and roll music, all that. And then from there it goes John, Paul, George, and Ringo on the end, the solo stuff.
Impressive. Now, I can't tell from this shot,
but
right beside the Les Paul, are those tall speakers? I can't tell.
Those are speakers.
You've had those? Or are those new?
Nope, I had them for a while now, for about...
I guess in the other shot that I just never noticed them. But now with this, I don't know.
Well, and also because, they're black, and we don't have the best light here. Hang on. Okay.
Yeah.
So...
what are those? Those are nice.
They're ADS M1290s. I think I can swing this around more. And there's its companion, right?
Oh, now I can see it. That helps. Okay. Yeah. Those are nice.
So there's two of those, so companion. And then the chair, my listening chair is right there.
You got a good setup.
Yeah, it's super comfy. So, and I was just listening to Dagon, who's watching us here, John. He gifted me Neil Young's Tonight's Tonight, which is fantastic. Tonight's Tonight. Bruce Perry was a working man. He drove that Econoline van. So I like that. Anyway, I was listening to that, and I want to thank John for the gift. But so that was very relaxing, right? Rachel should do the weather. A friend is racing
down. What does that mean? Rachel, you could do the weather. You could do the weather.
Yes. I might be a good weather girl, right? Because of my bosom and everything. I got a modern Marantz setup. That is right, Ernesto. I got PM6006's CD and amplifier. And they drive, the amp powers these things very nicely. And then I threw in the Budgie preamp because it warms it up a little bit. Makes it, and it's a tube. It's a 2-in tube kind of setup.
Oh, see, I'm all solid state. All my stuff, all 70 stuff. Yeah. Yamaha, Marantz, Advent, smaller Advent speakers.
That's great. You get your speakers for your space. You don't need big speakers. I'm just spoiled by speakers. I had Boston acoustic A150s. In the 80s. I had to have floor standing speakers again. I couldn't get by, even though I had ELAC V6s. Andrew Jones designed speaker, highly regarded, but I said, no, I got to go floor standing. And so I did. And I sold my ELACs, but I got good coin back for them. So I didn't really lose anything on the investment. Got to try them out for a while.
I mean, I've been running the same thing I've run, for 20 years probably.
Does the vinyl community tempt you at all with all the talk of various things? Oh, I've got this. Like I started out with a P2, a Rega P2, and now I'm rocking a P6. So I upgraded the.
I've got a Technics SL. What is it? A 100A. So it's the pre-1200 from 1972, and it weighs like 30 pounds and running a sure card. It's fine.
Well, because that's an engineering philosophy, right? Make them nice and heavy, a good stable bass, so the vibrations and all that don't add any extra sound. If your stylus is working its way.
Well, now those used SL 100As are kind of expensive. The story, I got that thing for free. I bought it off eBay like 15 years ago, and it came, and the smoked cover on top got cracked in shipping. The U.S. and it was uninsured, and the U.S. Postal Service paid for it.
Oh, good.
It was like, I think I spent like $500 for it, even 15, 20 years ago.
That's a lot of money, $500 15 years ago. You can kind of double.
But it was the whole thing. It was the whole turntable with the box.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting a new cover for it. But eventually there was a guy on eBay that was selling turntable parts. And I said, hey, do you have one of those smoked SL 100A
glass covers like the
original one? He said, oh yeah, I've got one. Bought it from him, but literally I've only put like $100 in this turntable, maybe with the cases and stuff, but I was able to restore
Did
the
you
way it
change
was.
the cartridge on it or anything? Or you keep
It had something, but I bought a moving coil. I bought a Audio Technica.
Yeah,
It was a gray market cart.
yeah.
Audio Technica. I can't remember which one it was, but then I ended up putting my Shure V15 back on it. I
Well,
love that moving coil cartridge, though.
the moving coil generally people see them as being superior to the moving magnet, which I have. Well, one is a case of people wondering what's the difference between an MC moving coil and an MM moving magnet. One is where the Moses goes to the mountain. The other one is where the mountain goes to Moses. And the idea generally is because Moses is lighter, it's easier for Moses to go to the mountain than for the mountain to go. So the moving magnet is where the whole magnet system moves over and then and creates the magnetic field for your sound to start dancing in. And then the other one, the moving coil, is where the coil moves. The magnet stays stationary, but the coil moves. So,
and they're very low output. But my Yamaha integrated amp has a moving magnet and moving coil input, and it's just one of those.
Wow.
It's like a 1979.
That is tricked
Yamaha.
out.
It's great, but I think I need to get the Audio Technica retipped. Because you can't just go buy a stylus for a moving coil cartridge. You have to get it retipped.
Yeah.
So that's a drag about it.
The whole thing, and they aren't cheap. They are more expensive. Moving magnet. I'm living on some part. Although PB Thal, Patrick was telling me that with my budgie, that you can work them with a moving coil, but you have to do some finagling. But they're generally, plug and play if you've got a moving magnet, and I do. And there's got little dip switch settings for it. And Patrick knew what I was rocking, so he said, "Yeah, just do this. This will work." And he set it all up for me.
I think that Audio Technica cartridge, I bought it from some retailer who was importing from Japan. I think it was about $500, and that was like 15 years ago.
I got this year. It was a big Beatle year for me. The year before was box sets. So, and I still have a few of them up here. Ramones, Cheap Trick, I got the Police, box sets, but then and the factory box set, which is great from the La Hacienda and all that over in Manchester. Great 7 record set I got, but this year wasn't box sets, so I bought a few, but the focus was the Beatles this year, and I did pretty good with it. I got most of the Japanese pressings from 76. Again, I'm born in 58, so I'm 15 years old in 73. So when that's the period, that's when I'm getting into my Beatles. So it was the orange label and with the gold print on the capital was what we were getting for the most part. There were still some records that you would buy, and you'd buy them off the shelf, flip, and it would be on the Apple label, some of them. But by and large, your standard records you were getting them on the orange capital label.
Most of mine, I remember when I was a kid, same stuff, the early 70s. Well, I came into the Beatles in 75 when my neighbor played She Loves You. She had the 45.
Yeah.
And actually, I got it out and played it, and I looked at the sleeve. I probably told the story, and it's got the Beatles on the front standing there, and I went, "Wow, these guys are cool." We talked about this, but my folks, all they played was Lawrence Welk.
Yeah.
We didn't play. There was no pop music of the day. I just happened to stumble across this Beatles 45 and thought that these guys look cool. And now I didn't know who they were, and this was the Beatles from 1964, and I'm in 1975 as a kid, and I thought, wow, look at those guys. And I didn't know who they were.
I knew who they were, like way back, like in 64. I knew who they were. My first real Beatles memory would have been on the playground, like in grade 1, grade 2. And the kids, it was a joke, and I've told it on my channel a few times, but the kids came up and said, "You hear what happened to the Beatles?" I go, "No." And then they go, "The Rolling Stones fell down and crushed them." And then I went, "What's that? What is that? What?" And then they explained to me, who the Rolling Stones were and who the Beatles were. And so I learned them about the same time. What was your earliest, what are some of your earliest musical memories then?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, up until the Beatles, that's it. Because when I heard She Loves You, and they also had I Want to Hold Your Hand, I heard those and my whole world changed.
Okay.
That was my first introduction to pop music were the Beatles.
Yeah.
And they've always been my favorite. And after that, I had the bug so bad
Yeah.
that I begged my parents, can I get some money so I can go to the record store and pick up something? I got to have something, you know.
Yeah.
So
You're
I was
good.
able to ride my bike. I was like 10 down to Kresge's downtown Marion. And believe it or not, I bought the Beatles 62 to 66.
Yeah. The Red Album.
Yeah. And it was
Yeah,
constant.
that was kind of my gateway Beatlemania. Like I knew who they were, but I became a Beatlemaniac when the Red Album. When I got my buddy had it, my parents' friends had it, and I remember going over the adults having their talk. You're a teenager. Hey, can I put on the headphones, listen to music? Yeah, go ahead, kid. And so I got lost in that. One of the questions Ernesto's asked: why is shipping to Canada so expensive? It's our government. It's mismanagement of the way the world is running because of surcharges on fuel, because they're trying to save the planet. They think. I don't think that. I don't believe that. But that's the rationale. So they're trying to tax everybody. So and so there's they're making so much money off tax of us up here in Canada. It's ridiculous. And so that's part of the reason it is. Duties, import taxes, is protectionism. This is why the free trade thing, when I first heard about free trade, I thought it was going to be great. Free trade, I mean, if I buy a book in America, then I can get it in Canada. I don't have to pay more now because it's like no extra taxes. I just get it free across the border. It's free trade. Great. But it didn't work that way. It only worked that way for the automobile industry.
Well, did you happen to hear that rant from? I know we're going all over the place, but that's what we do. The rant from what's his name? Joe Rogan. He won't go up to Canada at all. He thinks that you guys are darn near communists at this point.
Well, our government is really
socialist. He's like, well, I'm not going to Canada.
Our government's not popular, right, with the people. Here's the problem with our government right now is that the last election, it was won by the Conservatives. The Conservative Party won. Well, there are like our Republicans. So they won a minority government. They didn't have a majority. You hear about super majorities and this sort of thing. They had a small minority government, slim victory. So slim, in fact, that what happened is that instead of having a two-party system like you guys do, we've got like a four-party system. We've got this weird entity called the Bloc Québécois. The Bloc Québécois, their mandate is for Quebec to separate from the rest of Canada. And they run federally and they get federal dollars to do this thing. But their doctrine is, we don't like you people and we want our own country. Thank you very much. So we got that. They're representing, but they're only active in the province of Quebec. So it's weird, right? And then it's like having somebody like Minnesota being uppity. Or I guess the closest thing in America would be Texas. Texas is always uppity, trying to do its own thing. So it takes some separation.
Well,
but anyway,
yeah,
they're like that. Then then we got the NDP, National Democratic Party. And the NDP are like our real left guys. They're way out left. But then there's people even more left than them, our Green Party. Those people are having sex with seals or something. I'm not quite sure of the details of the platform, but something like that.
That's what they're coming into, right?
So they're way out there. So what happened with our conservative government? They got a minority government. The Liberals joined forces with the NDP and said the Liberals had the second largest vote block. And they said, look, we got more votes than you, NDP. How about we join forces, kick the Conservatives out with a no confidence vote, because we got enough representatives if we join forces to do it. So they formed a government. Now, so Canada, we're being represented by Trudeau as the head of the Liberal Party, but he didn't even get enough votes to form a minority government in the country. But the weird peculiarities of our system. And so it's one step away from representative government, because they can just do stuff like this. And all the rest of Canada, all we can do is go, what? And now we're going to raise your tax, and we're going to do this, and this is our mandate. And they talk boldly, like every Canadian is for this, and they pretend to speak for all of us, and really they speak for very few people. And the same problem happened in British Columbia, my province, where the winning party was actually the Liberals here. Same principle went into place. This time it was the NDP in coordination with the Green Party. They knocked out the slim majority that the Liberal Party here won, and then they established a new government, a coalition government based on the NDP in charge of things, backed and supported by the Green Party. So it's a removal of democracy, because it's like, you would think that the people did vote, even though it's a minority, that is enough to form a government. They got enough, but the peculiarity of the no confidence vote destroyed the two legitimately winning parties. So whether you're left, right, or anything, it doesn't really matter. But we should all have our representation. I mean, if somebody wins, even if it's a minority, you got to kind of surrender and go, yeah, okay, white flag, you're the government. I may not like it.
I don't know, Airrock. It almost sounds like the Canadian government's in more of a shambles than we are, though. I don't like the divisiveness that we have in the United States.
No, it's divisive everywhere, unfortunately. Yeah. And we won't stay here too long.
No, we're just talking.
We're just talking a little bit. I will say this about the divisiveness. Yeah, that's a reality. Also, another problem in Canada, you guys get your 4-year elections guaranteed. We get an election, it's kind of capricious, based on the will and the whim of the government. When they figure they have the best chance of winning, they'll say, okay, it's time to do another election, because we figure we can probably win it right now. They just call it. Yeah, they just call it and say, well, I guess we got to go vote. Apparently
it seems so bizarre. Though I wish we could have an election and get Biden out of there, because he's a mess. Of course, I don't know who's running the country. It's not him.
No, obviously not. I mean, and here's the thing. I think even if you're on the left side of the political spectrum or whatever, it doesn't matter. If you're a Biden person, I think it just would behoove all of us to go, yeah, obviously he's forgetting names. And like there's this clip on the latest one I saw, I guess it was an older one, when the National Hockey League, the NHL hockey team, the chairman of the board, or the president, the NHL, is a New York kid named Gary Bettman. And of course, Joe called him Batman. So, so one of the guys just started howling, right? Just going, "Oh my God!"
Hey, Dave, how's it going?
He smokes, King Joffrey.
Well, it's just weird, but I've talked to, and I'm pretty much new. I don't know.
Well, we're all agreed.
I'm not trying to say what I am, but I have talked to people that are very liberal.
Yeah.
And all they do is follow CNN and all that, and they don't branch out.
And
they look at Biden like, what do you, I mentioned, man, he's just losing his mind. And they're going, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Everything's great.
Yeah.
And I'm going, what are you talking about? At least when Trump was in office, everything was cheap. Now look how much we're paying. We're in a mess.
Yeah. And the other problem is, of course, we got wars in the Gaza Strip right now.
Yeah.
And then the Ukrainian disaster. And there's a lot happening in the Ukraine right now. So the Russians right now are really making massive gains over there. So whatever you feel about the rights or wrongs about it, but all the money that the West poured into it isn't really working.
Yeah.
So that's problematic.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I still have a problem accepting that Biden won. When you looked at his rallies, there was no one there.
I know. That's part. So people.
Well, you might think I'm trying to be neutral, but I have to think that there's something weird when you do have these Trump rallies that gigantic
stadiums. Yeah, they're packed out, aren't they?
And then you've got Biden's where he can't draw anything. Something's going on.
Yeah.
And my whole theory, I'm going to just say it right. I don't know. I think we have a lot of choice in our local elections, but I don't think we have jack shit to do with our presidential elections.
And part of the problem is the Republicans are just as bad. So you get these.
I know it's both.
Mitch McConnell and there's somebody, Murkowski, and who's the guy with the underwear, the Mormon kid. Anyway, they're all over there.
Yeah, so they're all over.
You get these career politicians that and
I didn't say he was my orange man. All I'm stating is that you see the Trump rallies and they're jam-packed. You see Biden can't even draw hardly anybody. That's all I'm saying. didn't cause an act. That's bullshit. That's all media driven.
Yeah, Indianapolis Colts. Come on, man. And by the way, it should be Baltimore Colts. Should be Baltimore Colts. Way better name, Baltimore Colts.
Well, but, Annie T, you have a good point. We probably do need younger people running, but
yeah. Also, Indy, I like this whole insurrection bullshit. Like a lot of people from my ilk, we don't buy this insurrection bullshit. We're seeing photos and film of policemen walking. They have the guys praying in there, and please bless our little boys in blue that everything's great. Everybody don't break anything. And there's film of these people. We think a lot of the feds were in there.
Just let them go in.
Into the building. They've got this woman. Why are you pushing me? I don't want to go in there. Leave me alone. Why are you doing this? And they got people pushing them in. And this Ray Epps guy and all the rest.
The thing is,
problems here, there, and everywhere. As the Beatles would say, here, there, and everywhere.
The U.S. government is corrupt, I think. All these governments are corrupt. The thing is, when Trump ran for office, they didn't take him seriously. They didn't think he was going to make it.
They never thought
They thought
Hillary would.
Clinton has it. No big deal. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to stuff a ballot box or anything. We'll just let it play out. Well, they were wrong because Trump really did make it in. And, Hillary, that night she thought she had it. Yeah. They guaranteed that she had it, but they didn't rig that election. Now they rigged. I do think. Well, obviously they rigged it because how could Biden get in there?
YouTube stringent guidelines. You can't say it, but listen. There are some stuff going on. There are some figures being. What's happening? Some of it's happening within the Democrat side, Democrat to Democrat. So they have this pictures, and I watch over on X, and there's a lot of film and different things going on right now. And of course, the weaponization, I call it the weaponization. And so we're killing these poor people. We shouldn't do this to them, Grant. We'll take it up. If you want
to, we're just talking stuff. It's all right. Well, we can change the subject, but I just really, I think this has always happened. I think, I think the government took out Kennedy. I think they took him out. I think Kennedy was causing too many waves. And I think I think if Trump goes back in there and really, if he got in, I would fear that they'll take him out because he's an outsider. They don't want him in there. He's stirring the pot. And whether you like him or not, I'm not saying, I'm just saying he did get in there. No, I don't think they'll ever let him back in.
About that, here's the thing about Kennedy is when you get the killing of Lee Harvey Oswald, when Jack Ruby, the mafiosa club guy, comes in and wants to pop him. Hey, listen, Annie, guess who's running away with the Republican nomination for president? It's Donald Trump. He's in 50 points ahead of fucking DeSantis and Nikki Haley. Oh, let's drop a nuke on somebody, Nikki Haley. That one? Come on, Annie. There's a lot of Republicans that like Trumpy bears. Okay. That's the thing.
I just don't believe anything that I hear in the news because everything is. I don't know what to believe. Really, I really don't.
It's you got to use your own head. Here's Here's the thing. I was
What about those kids? What about them? Go ahead. We'll get there.
I'll just do one last thing on Trump. I didn't care about Trump. All I knew him was he was the talk show host and he had the apprenticeship thing. Yeah. I thought that was stupid. I never watched an episode. I said, well, this is stupid. And then he was in with the Home Alone with the kid, And so he's done that. And he'd be on SNL from time to time. That's all I knew about him. But when WikiLeaks broke, that's when I went and looked.
Will become, oh my God, really?
So when I was looking over one way and not looking at Trump, it caused me to look the other way at Trump and go, what the hell? Why do they hate this guy so much? What's going on here? Why is it? Because they used to tease. Remember Johnny Carson come out with his red rouge on and he'd do the, and, Johnny would be doing his Ronald Reagan impersonation. So, but this thing was different. Everything was elevated. Every talk show host went this way. Then our media started going goofy and our pop culture started changing. And it was like this en masse phenomena of anti-Trump. It's like in Marvel comic books, like MODOK, the living brain from AIM, Advanced Idea Mechanics, this thrush kind of organization, Spectre for Captain America originally. And AIM has got MODOK, who's now Trump, in their comic book as his master evil mind. I'm going, what the fuck? Trump's MODOK. Anyway, so they lost their minds. They lost their collective minds. And so I didn't have an opinion one way or the other. But then the WikiLeaks, and when Debbie Wasserman Schultz had to step down because she was feeding Hillary Clinton answers against poor old Bernie, the Bernie bros are getting burned. And then after that happened, then you got Donna Brazil, and then she got fired for her role in all this. So they lost 2 chairs for the DSC over this whole thing. And then you kind of go, what's going on there? And this wasn't through external communication, the Republicans attacking. These were internal communications from themselves to themselves. So it's kind of crazy. All right. Kiss avatars.
Right. But anyway, that was fun discussion because, Canada's a mess. We're a mess. We can all agree on that.
Yeah. Power to the people. Right on.
What about those Kiss avatars? Do you have any opinion on that, Rachel?
Well, I've seen them. Have you seen the avatars?
I have.
They aren't high end. They aren't high tech. Like they aren't well executed. You need to, if you're going to do them, they've got to be pretty high end.
Well, it's the same people that did the ABBA type of.
The ABBAs look
avatar.
better than the Kiss ones.
Maybe they just need to work on the Kiss ones some more, because I was listening to 3 Sides of a Coin podcast and they were talking about that final Kiss show.
Yeah.
How everything just seemed lackluster in the interviews with people, They had Desmond Child for an interview. You couldn't get somebody else. And, it was just yet another Kiss show. There was nothing special about it. They didn't go, hey, Ace Frehley, it was, without you, we couldn't have made it. Without Peter Criss, we couldn't have made it. It was just another Kiss show. So I could see why people would have been, but I think the avatars living on that way, I don't care. Go ahead and do it. But
I think the idea is sound, because it's just entertainment at the end of the day. And it's like, if I could save time in a bottle, it's just a different way of presenting things. I will tell you this, that artificial intelligence is getting a lot better, and AI generated films are reaching at a higher level. People are doing it in their basements that can challenge what's happening at Industrial Light Magic, big entities like that. So I think as technology improves, eventually you're going to see stuff that's going to be pretty hard to tell, whether you're looking at the real thing or an AI generated thing. And it'll just be the old music. Now the AI can recreate music, and if it was like, that's only going to improve over time. I see improvements when you're dealing with the technology. Think Iron Man, right? He's in his clunky metal suit, the original one. And as time progresses, the suit gets more and more increasingly sophisticated.
Where do you find a phone book? Yeah, we can't. There are no phone books.
Oh yeah, and now
humanity better be careful with AI. Well, I don't know, but I'm going to talk to you from a design standpoint.
Yeah.
They've incorporated AI into Photoshop and all that stuff, and using that has opened me up. So when I do all my thumbnails and stuff, I never use it. But now, if let's say I want to take an album cover and I want to expand it to fill up that space for that aspect ratio for YouTube.
Yeah,
man, I just take it in there and I just say, just do something, I
want a YouTube thumbnail kind of thing.
It can match anything and fill out that whole image. It's amazing.
What's it called? What are you using?
I use InDesign because I did desktop publishing for 15, 20 years.
Well, I was talking to you before the show, like we were just kind of hanging out backstage, and then we could bring things up. And I was noticing, look at how big DC Toontown, by the way, he's a big time into, he's like, does comics and stuff like that. He's a very knowledgeable guy that way. And I love comics and all that. I got a bunch of DC, Superman, and I buy the cartoons and stuff. But look at the size of everybody's avatar. I want mine.
It looks normal to me, though.
They look big to me, and they're big and bountiful and beautiful. I love this scale. I want this on my TV show.
It has to be a setting, but I've never changed anything. AI, just show me where the kill switch is. Well, You've got, I don't know how you guys feel about Elon, but he's all for it. But didn't Elon Musk originally say that kind of be careful with it? But he seems to embrace it now, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Musk is he's a conundrum because there's a lot I agree with him on, but AI and chips implanting in your brain and stuff,
Yeah.
cyborg Raichi. No way. I'm not ready for cyborg Raichi. I'm against it.
I
So
don't.
I know I'm old fashioned. I like doing things the old fashioned way. Even if you could have you're plugged into the net, will not compute. They did
Mhm.
this on Star Trek with Professor Corby, and he was dating Marjorie. What I think it was the episode called "What Little Girls Are Made of," and
Mhm.
this is the one where Kirk's holding the penis. Have you seen that one, the styrofoam penis prop? It was a stalactite. Anyway, so it's pink and it looks just like if you go look online, you can see just go Kirk penis. And anyways, from that episode, but Professor Corby's there, and his hand and his body was destroyed. He goes, "It's still me, Christine," and he's going, "It's still me," and his hands, little sparks are coming out because the skin's peeled back, and he's all robotic, and he's become a cyborg. But he loses. He goes, "I'm still me, Christine. I can still speak." And just ask me anything. Ask me to compute. I can. And he's losing his humanity, crap. Okay.
My
That
goodness.
was very frightening, boys and girls.
So, would you go see a Beatles Avatar concert?
No,
I don't have any interest in that.
I have no interest.
No, I
But
think it's cool. You could do it, but
okay, I'll tell you what. You know where I would do it? I'm on vacation. I'm in Vegas. What's the big show? What's happening here? Oh, you got to go see the Beatles. They're all avatars. Okay, what the hell? Why not? I'll have a couple of drinks, and I'll go in and I'll watch this.
Jim Record Collector, we do RCN Record
Yeah.
Collectors. Oh, you do it in InDesign. Well, that's the standard. Like someone mentioned, yeah, Cork Express. As far as I know, no one's really using Cork Express
Oh, Quick
anymore.
Express, I remember back in the day. Yeah.
But yeah, InDesign's now the standard, and I love InDesign. I use it for all my thumbnails. It's all InDesign pretty much. And then if I do animations, I'll take it out and pop them into brain problem. Oh shoot, what is that? I'm gonna have to look it up.
You're getting bubbles by your thumb. Somebody, your show is
Yeah, I could do all kinds of stuff.
how come you can do this? I can't do this. What's the secret? How do you know? I got to learn this stuff. You're so good at this. Look, there's some fireworks behind you and everything. You're a god. YouTube.com.
Wait a minute, it's got to see it. Wait a minute, that's it.
Okay. Look, he's got little chiplets.
Now, if I do this, we can do this.
Oh, so you're cueing it. Now it's raining and storming and we're all sad.
Now,
So
if I do a heart, if it'll see it, it's supposed to do hearts. But there it goes.
Right. Love heart. Can I do it?
No,
I don't
only
have
me.
the power. So
I only have the power, and I don't know how I'm doing it. I just noticed it doing it one day, and now I don't know how to turn it off.
Hey, there's something going on with your interface with the way you work this. This is unbelievable. Hey, let's thank Michael. You got some hard coin thrown at you.
I got hard coin. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got to get to him. Chauncey, since this is a music stream, let's talk about movies.
Chauncey. Boy.
Yeah, big ones. Noah's there were. Oh yeah, there are fantastic tribute bands out there. That's a good point. I would go see a Kiss tribute band that are really good. I would go see that. And Kiss, well, there are people doing that too. So I mean, that's cool.
Okay, now Grant, also over on my channel, we're doing an in-house award show. I don't know if you got nominated. You should have been nominated for exciting new newcomer on my TV show this year. But anyway,
I don't know. I didn't even. I'm so Rachel. I'm so bad. I'm so busy that. So tell everybody about that.
We got Ghosties Awards. So they're like these little trophies that we've created, and we've got a couple of special trophies set aside: lifetime achievement, best hair, best bright and upcoming newcomer like yourself, superstar, and. It's just in-house. It's just a fun way of thanking everybody for having fun being part of it. And the people voted on it themselves. I have Patreon, so they voted on it. All sorts of stuff's going on. Like we got the Concert Buddy merch here. This is Chance. It's a great channel. Chauncey, you can.
Why did you ruin Star Trek for him?
He's so sensitive. Because it's me, Christine. I was acting out that
Oh,
fantastic
goodness.
episode.
There, Jim, the Zappa hologram concert died. They did about 5 shows. Maybe it's too early for that stuff. Maybe people aren't ready for it. Maybe didn't they do one with Dio where Dio was like a hologram?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Some holograms are better than others, maybe.
Elon is fine with anything that helps him drill tunnels. He is doing that.
He's a smart cat, though. You know.
So they don't have new versions of Quark Express. It's old. But I used to use PageMaker back in the day, and then it turned into InDesign. But PageMaker was great.
I remember PageMaker. That was a freebie thing,
that was Aldous PageMaker back in the day. If you design people remember that.
Yeah, I remember it.
Okay, I forgot to pick up was a mod in Buy then. What? I don't know.
I forgot pickup was a mod in this channel. Buy then. So settle down, Loki.
I don't know what Loki's talking about.
I'm going to settle him down. Loki, stop it right now.
Oh, thanks, Michael Nolan. Appreciate
Thank you,
it. We love that. I love money.
We love Michael. Thank you, Michael.
Hey, Jim. Jay Miller thinks I'm a wizard. I am a wizard.
Do your love heart on
I don't
that.
know if I can do that. It's hard to do. There it
is. Look at the power. You have the power.
Yeah.
Final community. I'll try and get this power.
This is my favorite one now. No, I like this one. I like that one.
Oh, it does the fireworks.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy, kids?
So is this a filter? Did you have to add anything?
No, I didn't add anything. Does anybody know what that's? Because it'll do it on StreamYard. It'll do it on StreamYard and it'll do it on Zoom.
That's crazy. How can I'm going to Google it?
It's a Mac thing. It has to be a Mac thing.
Oh no, I'm on a stupid old. I've got a onesie. Darn it.
See, Morris loves Star Trek. It can't be ruined.
Anyway, this month's this is a great thing that Jim did for us, and he threw in a full page ad for us for the Ghosties, which we're very grateful to him about. So there you go, the Ghosty Awards over on our channel, Rachel's Ghost.
Nice.
And these are all the categories, the nominees. As you can see, it's quite a big deal. And so we're going to do a special show, put it together for it, and we're going to, make it happen. Dio hologram was not good.
Never saw it. Ernesto, did you see it?
Yeah.
See, that's record. I need to get that, but I don't know how to get Record Collector. Is there a subscription? How do you get it? I'm in Ohio. How do I get it?
Oh, do you want to get this magazine?
Yeah.
Jim, he has I know he's available in Chicago, but he's not nationwide yet. He's in select spots.
I was just in Chicago, damn it.
Yeah.
I saw Geddy Lee. Man.
Here's folks. There's Jim. Get a link there, and so anybody can email there.
Okay.
This, and he will arrange to get you.
Consider it done.
One complimentary issue out, but do consider subscribing to it. And I love promoting this thing. I do it a lot. I call Jim the boss. I help him out a little bit with the magazine, doing a couple of things. But it's great because you're looking to hunt down a record, and there's all these record stores, and they aren't just. He's in California. They're for record stores all over the place. Like here's one for Seattle, for example. But they're all over the place.
But I mean, I can subscribe to it. But I can subscribe to it and get it sent to my house, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll subscribe. Okay. I'm running in 85 different directions. But do you see that at Barnes & Noble? I'd rather get a subscription.
Barnes & Noble is pretty cool because in America, because you guys get the Barnes & Noble Criterion collection, speaking of movies, and I'm big in movies. This year has been a revival for me in movies, Grant. And I picked up an OLED 65-inch Sony Bravia. This is high-end.
Whoa. What? You did?
Yeah. And then I got an Dolby Atmos soundbar. So I keep all my Beatles stuff down here for the show. So I can do stuff like here's Beatles Help.
Yeah.
In Blu-ray. But
hey, Rachel, quick question. Do you have, what I really want? Oh, I got that. I bought that used somewhere.
Yeah. So this is Dolby Atmos for this.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
You know what I really want? Do you happen to have the Monkees Blu-ray box set?
The Monkees Blu-ray box set. I do not, but I've got a lot of Monkey albums, and I know you're a big Monkees fan yourself.
But I want that Blu-ray box set. I know that they found a whole bunch and they're up on the Monkees.
There is a Monkees box set with their whole discography that you can get. That looks really good. Harry's got it. Harry's here. Good evening, everyone.
There he is, Harry. You've got it.
Harry picked up the record one with their discography. All the studio albums are all collected in one big, beautiful box. And now Dagon's talking about the magazine. Yeah.
Goldmine, Classic Rock, or other mags I pick up. I don't know. They have a lot of great magazines like in the UK, like Classic Rock and Prog. And it seems like the United States, Rolling Stones is just the shambles of a magazine. Rolling Stone is just a shambles
Rolling
of a
magazine. Stone's another one who ran into trouble because Rolling Stones reinvented itself a little bit. They were always on the left, but now they've gone a little. And part of the problem is that it's like corporate left. You know what I'm saying, Grant? Like in the old days, in the 70s and stuff, we'd be protesting and everybody was. We all were fighting against the man and the system. And then things.
Then they became the system and the man.
They became the system. That's what I'm saying. Like big corporations, and you go, what? Like you're walking down and you're watching. Here comes the IBM gay parade, and I'm LGBT. I'm like trans, and you got the IBM thing representing, or the military. Yeah.
Well, DC, when was the last? You say it's political everything. When was the last time you looked at a Rolling Stone? I haven't had one since. I used to have a subscription. I used to be hardcore subscriber Rolling Stone. I just let it go, like in the 90s.
I bought it in the 80s. I remember the Go-Go issue when the Go-Go's first broke big. They made the cover. I remember
that. Those were the days. That was great. Oh, last week, DC. Holy crap.
Wow. But yeah, I agree with DC about that.
Try navigating the Rolling Stone website, 100% ads. I bet
it's kind of like what Michael's talking about, like Michael Nolan, the Bottom Line. He talks a lot about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, how that's just gone to the toilet. Like it just doesn't even. You as a rock and roll fan, right? Beatles, Stones, Pink Floyd, The Who, all these bands, you don't feel represented anymore. You go, who's in what?
Well, think about it. It's now more like a fashion magazine. But this was a great discussion on your channel today because we were talking a bit of hip hop and rap, and I was mentioning the younger generation, like our generation. We like, just exactly what you mentioned. But the younger generation have no interest in any of this classic rock. They don't have any interest in the Beatles. Maybe some do. Logan, who pops up here, he's one of those younger people that he's not quite the typical young person. But like my son and my daughter, all they do is listen to hip hop. They can listen to what I listen to, but they don't choose to. My son Griffin, his favorite band was the Smiths when he was. Well, when he lived here, but then he's changed. Now he's, like I told you, he thinks that who was it? Kanye West. And then other people in the chat this morning chimed in about Kanye. He thinks Kanye as an artist is absolutely brilliant. I feel like I'm someone's dad now. I listen to it and go, what do you? I don't hear anything.
I think there's a reason for that, Grant. You know
why is that?
Well, because you are someone's dad now.
Well, that's true, but I try, when your kids try to turn you on to something, I really seriously try to take a look at it and understand. Like there was, if anybody's heard of the hip hop artist Drake.
Yeah, Canadian kid.
Okay. He thinks very highly of Drake. And I almost had my son to do a show with me where he would talk about a Drake album. And I couldn't get the kid on the damn show.
Yeah, too shy about it.
Well, no, he would do it, but I don't know. Try to make your kids do anything. But anyway, I did get this Drake album. I listened to it. I really couldn't. I don't know. There's no melody. It's just.
It's not for us. It's not our generation. But having said that, let's have the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. I think the problem is that it lacks legitimacy because there's so much, kind of high valued cultural cachet stock in rock and roll, like Elvis Presley, the Beatles, the Stones, Pink Floyd, the Who, Led Zeppelin. It's got all that cachet. And if you just did hip hop, it would be too marginalized and it would be off by itself and it wouldn't be representative enough. And I think that they recognize that. Or the Country Hall of Fame, which they've got, like for Dolly Parton, unless they want to make her a triple threat type thing that's crossover artist of the millennial or something.
Yeah, like DC said, most younger folks don't care about guitar rock. Well, I don't know, but you have to look. Greta Van Fleet, bunch of young people. Yeah, people think that they sound like Led Zeppelin or whatever, but they are carrying that torch, in that younger generation. And it does live on. Rock and roll is living on, though it's a little bit more underground. It's kind of the way it started out, Rachel. It was underground, and now it's kind of back.
I think rock and roll will never die. And anybody that's been around the A&B bar circuit with the band, know that the clubs will close up and they'll go, we're just doing canned music, no live acts. And then suddenly we got a live band. Everybody's going to this venue and it's gaining, people are talking about it. Then another club will go, oh shit, we got to get rid of the canned music. The guys down the road are killing our audience because they've got live acts. And it's always gone in a cycle like that, in and out of live entertainment.
Harry, Bad Bunny. I've never heard of anybody hear of Bad Bunny?
No, I don't.
Number one Spotify download artist 3 years in a row. That's impressive. Of course, he probably's not making any money. Did you hear about Weird Al making that statement that he got like a $50 check or something for having a bazillion listens or whatever?
Like on Spotify, like he had mass.
Does anybody remember that quote? Did anybody in the chat see that quote from Weird Al? How many records did he? How many downloads did he have, and how much did he make? Yeah. He was going on a rant about it. Put it in the comment because I can't remember the detail.
Yeah, it sounds interesting, but I agree with you.
I have to admit, Kendrick Lamar is super powerful stuff. I'm just starting to get how good this guy. I don't know Kendrick Lamar. I don't.
Oh, we got Paul Simon there. Paul Simon's arrived.
Is Paul on here? Oh, Paul. Paul does shows with me. I was with Paul. We went and saw Geddy Lee in Chicago a week ago.
Oh, now, did you have a signing autograph session with them?
He just did. Well, I bought a poster. They had a lot of great merch. Well, I got this hat. This is a Geddy Lee hat.
Did you buy My Effin' Life?
When you got a ticket to the show and you went to the show, you got a free book.
Oh, okay. That's nice. So how much was the show?
Paul, what were like 130 maybe? 130, 35? I don't remember.
Wow.
We bought the tickets as soon as they went on sale. Because all these Rush fans, they were able to get in there early to get tickets. Oh, let's see what's happening. What was it? Last time I took Rolling Stone series in 78. Okay. Rolling Stone moved Clapton 30 points down on the greatest guitarist list because of his vaccination comments.
Yeah.
Do you think that's really it? Or maybe they just, I think Eric Clapton's okay, but he was no Jeff Beck. Let me say that. He was okay.
Clapton was highly sought after, and who was it? Jeff Beck. How did that work? Did Beck recommend Clapton, or Clapton recommend Beck?
Clapton recommended Beck to the Yardbirds.
To the Yardbirds. Okay, so Clapton recommended
because they were buddies. And it was really Page and Jeff Beck that were really the buddies, because they used to hang out and play together and stuff. But yeah, it was Eric Clapton that recommended Jeff Beck, and Jeff Beck, brilliant. God. Name me, I know we're going on a guitar rant now, but name me one guitar player.
Yeah.
Jeff Beck constantly changed and grew as a player. You listen to Beck in 60s, listen to Beck in the 70s, listen to Beck before he passed away, and he just totally grew as a player. Absolutely brilliant. His technique, his feel. I think, Eddie Van Halen, look at Eddie. People like Eddie Van Halen, but you listen to Eruption from 78 and then listen to Eddie before he died. It's the same damn thing. He didn't grow as a player. He had one shtick, and he kept with it. But Jeff Beck constantly morphed and improved his technique.
Well, Jeff wasn't
Amazing.
tied down. Sometimes I think songwriting ties you down, and being in a band ties you down to a certain sound, a certain style. And so it limits you by definition. Like, oh, that even the Beatles would talk about that. Well, this is a Beatles song. This isn't a Beatles song, Paul. We don't want that on the album. There would be that kind of discussion, that yeah, we'll use this song. This is a good Beatles song. Let's record this for us.
I would think
it was underrated, yeah.
I would think hip hop would be included in the Rock and Roll R&B Hall of Fame. Is there one?
There should be.
Closest the younger people I know like rock music is modern. Ugh, good. Well, Johnson, you do have a good point. Why should young people care? Well, I'm just making an observation because I never really until you ask your kids, or at least they play something.
I think kids like our music when they do it, but every kid needs to separate themselves from their parents as part of the growing or the aging process, the maturation process to try and separate yourself from your parents. But the music is so good, so accessible. It's like classical. Glenn Miller is pop music. Glenn Miller's pop music. Beethoven, Mozart are music for all times. You listen to the Beethoven, Mozart. That's why you watch the movie Amadeus, which I just did again. And the music is so good. You go, oh my God, I love this stuff.
Well, I would say I'd rather listen to Glenn Miller than a lot of the stuff today.
Well, yeah, I mean, In the Mood or whatever is a great swing song. But again, Miller's pop. But I put the Beatles in with classical music. They're so appealing. I think they transcend generation. My son loves the Beatles. Now he's 32, mind you.
Right.
But, he's not a kid. But
I came to the Beatles when I was 10. They'd already been broken up 5 years. So technically, should I even be into the Beatles? Shouldn't I be into, golly, Starland vocal band by that point?
I think the Beatles, there's something about their music is very appealing to people of all ages and all generations.
Oh, I saw that Weird Al thing. I think it was a little over $20. And he had oh my God, tons of streams. Bad Bunny is the new Elvis.
I will tell you something about the modern era is that in the old days, we were limited to so many instruments, guitarists, this sort of thing, personalities that we're lucky enough to get the record contract. Now we got YouTube, and you see these little kids just playing everything. You're going, holy shit, this is unbelievable. And there's 40, 50, 100 of them all out there doing their thing on YouTube. And you just go, this kid's an amazing guitar player.
I love Alex Lifeson's playing.
Yeah. But anyway, so the talent pool is so huge right now. But it's like the market's changed. Our culture has changed a lot for it.
Okay, the quote. It's my misunderstanding that I had 80 million streams on Spotify. You got $140.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's
it is a generational thing, but I expected so much more than what we have now. I don't know.
Well, and of course they talk about the homogenization of sound, so you can play 5 artists in a row, and you go, what's distinctive about these artists? They all sound like each other.
Right. I do think 50s and 70s music, there was a genius pool going on, and kids had money to spend. That changed everything. Well, I didn't have any money, but somehow I was able to buy records when I was a kid. I only got a $5 allowance, but maybe my mom was slipping me money. I can't remember. If you don't have kids, are hard to understand. The music that is out there, and believe me, it's out there. Well,
and
it is what they want.
K-pop phenomena.
Plastic Soundwave. Oh yeah, David Crosby, may rest in peace. He would go on rants. I think it's unfair for the artists. I mean, that's why I always try to buy physical media. I'm not a streamer. If I'm studying for a show, more than likely I'll buy the CDs or whatever. It just depends, just to support people. I'm not making, well, I make money off the Contrarians, but I don't make any money on my channel. But it's just enough that keeps me, it does kind of cover. I make enough to cover my costs for like StreamYard and stuff like that.
Yeah. Morris, you're probably my cousin somewhere. You're a Gautreau, but I've got a lot of Gaudreau. Gaudreau is my French family. I got a lot of French family. There's like 10 families in France, early France, for all us old-timey French people. We're all related to everybody. There's a guy called Zachary Cloutier, and he was like this mason buildings and stuff like this back in like the 1600s. He comes over from Normandy in France. Anyway, there's like a million celebrities. They're all related that come out of this guy, like Celine Dion, and Madonna's related, and Ricky Gervais, the comedian, Camilla Parker Bowles is related out of that. Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling, Justin Bieber, Megan Trainor. It just goes on and on and on, and they're all related there. But yeah, there you go. Frank Acadian in Morris's place, Acadian, but yeah.
Oh, like, or no, hey, maybe I'm being quoted. Like I said, what's the next wave? What's the next big rock wave? I don't know. You know what? We've had those rock waves. You remember the last one we had is when grunge killed hair metal, because hair metal got so silly. Yeah. And everybody knows that, whether you like hair metal or heavy metal or whatever you want to call it. It just got so out of hand that once Nirvana hit, and that hit overnight, because I remember when that hit, it was like one day, the next day there's Nirvana. There hasn't been any new musical developments. The last new form of music was rap and hip hop. That was 1979 with,
Well, aren't we Taylor? Aren't we in the age of the Swifties?
But what is she doing? She's not doing anything unusual.
She just gets and she can strut and goes down the catwalk and does her song.
But we had that boy band wave, and that just kind of fizzled out, but nothing really replaced it. It's just weird because usually you have waves, but like in rock and roll in the 50s, they tried to calm rock and roll with all, Frankie Avalon and Fabian. We had that wave. And then, but there hasn't been any waves. I just makes me, I don't know. I wish I knew what was coming up next. I don't know if anything's coming up.
You and everybody else should be an instant millionaire if you could, market it. If you know what's happening next. You create a band that does it, and you're right there on the front wave, and you make money.
But it's like all these waves would be like in 10-year increments. There hasn't been anything. I don't know. It's kind of a drag. Kind of brings me down. But
kind of a drag.
But something will take out Taylor Swift, but I don't know what that'll be. And I don't have any problem with Taylor Swift, though.
I don't either.
If you played me a Taylor Swift song, I don't think I could ID it in a lineup. I don't have a problem with her. I think she's probably a very nice person. I don't know. It was strange to me that it was Nirvana broke. I thought Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. You know what? Plastic Soundwave, that's a good point, because Nirvana, back in the day, they were just like a little blip band. No one took Nirvana seriously.
Yeah, but Teen Spirit, man, that song, it smells like Teen Spirit. Come on.
It was the production. It was the timing. And you have to admit, when Kurt Cobain wrote a song, the guy could write a song. I think if you Nevermind, I think it's pretty much overrated. But what's really good on Nevermind is really good. And what's bad, which is all the noise and just the stupid shit, I don't care for that. But the songs that are on
there. Here's great. Okay, wow, check this. So Taylor Swift, right? She's born in 89.
Yeah.
That's old. She's like 34. She's pushing 40, for the love of God. Taylor Swift is pushing 40.
Right.
That's got to be a warning sign.
Wasn't there?
I didn't say last 10 years.
Did SNL have a big thing with breaking Nirvana? I don't remember. Maybe.
I don't know about SNL, but they were probably, I don't know. I thought Teen Spirit did it to get that video playing on everybody.
But it was like a breath of fresh air. You had to admit, with, listening to Warrant and all that shit. And then all of a sudden Nirvana came and Teen Spirit was like a breath of fresh air.
But I love all the hair bands. Like they were fun. I did like it. They were like was it Cinderella? Don't know what you got till it's gone. You know, I love that.
Isn't that Poison?
Cinderella.
Oh, Cinderella.
Poison was them, baby. Talk dirty to me. Woo! You know, that was a lot of fun.
Oh, I know, you're 100% right. You know, I could listen to my parents. Well, I didn't know any different. All we played was Lawrence Welk, and my dad would play Benny Goodman and stuff, the stuff that he listened to when he was like a kid. And no one played anything, and I didn't listen to the radio. Like I said, when I heard the Beatles on the Neighbors 45, my whole world opened up. So that was my gateway to anything pop music, and it was 60s music that took me in. It wasn't the 70s music when I was a kid. It was the 60s that drew me in. So I still love that 60s stuff. So that's how I came into it. Hey, Dan, what is happening? People were burned out on fake metal. Yeah. I guess it was fake metal. It just got so silly, though. You know, you look at that Warrant Cherry Pie video.
Oh, yeah. Well, they talk about that. It's kind of like, what do you call that? You know, the jumping the shark, Grant, right? That's kind of hair metal's jumping the shark moment.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't Lane, Lane Stanley or whatever his name was?
From Alice in Chains.
Well, not him. I'm thinking, who's the guy from Warrant Cherry Pie?
Jamie somebody. Jamie Lane.
Jamie Lane. That's I was getting all my names mixed up. And that poor guy checked out. But he felt bad about the song. He said he knew as he was writing it that this was a complete sellout.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's the thing, right?
Well, you know, timing's everything. I always felt bad. If you've ever listened, okay, I'm going to give props to Skid Row, because that first Skid Row album came out in '89. And to be quite honest, it's actually quite good. And I like Sebastian Bach, to be honest. He's a bit of a cartoon character, but I think he's fun. And that Skid Row album, they kind of got gypped because they put that album, the second one came out in 92 maybe? You know, Nirvana hit. They just kind of ended up, a lot of those metal bands that came out later just kind of got the raw end of the deal, you know. At least people still kind of think of Skid Row, you know, they were able to.
It's true. The ones that came out right at the end, you know, and they had a week to go, and then it was all over.
It's true.
You know,
what's that story? Was it Warrant that one year they went to meet up in their who was it? Did Ernesto tell me that? I can't remember. Someone told me about this story. I think it was Warrant went to the record company and they went for their meeting. And when they went in, they had a big poster of whatever Warrant album. And then the next meeting they went and there was like a big Nirvana poster or something up. I don't know.
They knew it was over. Yeah.
They knew it was over.
I think almost Guns N' Roses are right at the tail end of all that too. But they had a slightly different image too. They were kind of almost the bridge between the one and the other.
Thanks. We'd love some likes. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, that's important. I don't know how many we got watching right now. Let me do a refresh.
18 in Life I know, but it is a catchy song. I mean, in that genre, I think that Skid Row were pretty good at songwriting. It is catchy. It's a little late in the game though for them. That's all. Oh, here we go. It's Paul Simon. Slave to the Grind. What year was that? Was that 92? But that's late. I don't think Slave to the Grind really sold. Oh, well, jazz, Chauncey's a little bit different.
Jazz is another thing again that's a little different. Yeah.
Oh, what do you guys think about artists selling their catalogs for big money? Hey, the way the music industry is, and the way that people look at these bands, they're not looked in the same light as they once were. And I say, hey, if you can sell your catalog, make some money for your family before it tanks, because, you know, everything goes through cycles. Well, you know, we might still think Rumors is a great album, but will we think about that like 100 years from now? How will people look at it? Not that we care, but is this stuff really going to stand up like 100 years? I'm surprised the Beatles are still thought of as highly as they are, but still,
I think
the Beatles machine the Apple machine still puts out product to keep everybody interested. But when that ends,
I think they go the way of like classical music. I always thought about that. They'll be up there. They're the 20th century, Beethoven and Mozart.
what about new metal? Is that another wave that meant anything? Like, oh God,
It was too niched. It was too niche. It never caught on with the wider population. We all know who they were. I've never bought a Korn album. I've never bought a Limp Bizkit album.
I've never. Do people even care about that now? Does anybody in the chat even care about Limp Bizkit or Korn? I don't know. I'm just throwing. I never was into it. I just thought, whatever. I don't care. I know the Hall and Oates thing is talked to death, but did Oates try to undercut Hall? Oates wanted to sell his part of the catalog, from what I understood, and Daryl doesn't want to sell. So they, and Daryl, it's a bunch of crap. If you look at a lot of the songwriting credits, they shared a lot of songwriting credits, even though Daryl says, "Well, we never wrote together." Mm-hmm. I don't know what that's about, but they wrote. There's a lot of co-writing credits with Sarah Allen and her sister and Daryl and John Oates. They were a working team, and I don't know what's happened, but that's a business. These guys are a business now, and Oates wanted to sell his catalog, or maybe I don't know. That's what happened though. That was the main problem. But how could you sell your portion of the songwriting if you wrote songs with like a group of people? I mean, I don't know how all that would work.
It's all contracts.
It's all contracts.
Yeah.
So I guess Daryl could block that since he's a co-writer. I don't know.
I will kick your ass. I've just had it with this Norman Mazoff character.
Is he here? Oh, there he is.
And Limp Bizkit just headlined Madison Square Garden, so there you go. Homer, maybe Limp Bizkit's got a wider appeal than I would have thought. I just never owned anything by him.
Jane's Addiction was good, but do people really care about Jane's Addiction now? I don't know. A lot of these bands don't have a shelf life. I think Jane's Addiction probably has. No one knows Black Oak, Arkansas.
I got a couple of Black Oak, Arkansas.
Well, I'll tell you one band. We're doing that show on my channel where DC Toontime is trying to convert me to at least appreciate Grand Funk Railroad. Now, when I was in high school in the 80s, no one knew Grand Funk. They had their moment. That was gone. None of the kids in my high school even muttered the word Grand Funk. Really? I never even heard Grand Funk, but what I heard, I never cared for.
I loved them, but because we're an American band,
yeah,
was the big one, and they did Locomotion.
Well, that's Todd Rundgren production, and we talked about that. Todd Rundgren saved that band. Todd Rundgren knew exactly what to do with Grand Funk.
They were interesting to look at live, like when they'd show up on the old Midnight Special. I forget Farmer because he was in such great shape and stuff, and they were a good rocking band.
Well, when you were younger, you were Grand Funk. The critics hated Grand Funk. How did you like Grand Funk when you were a kid, like when you're in high school and stuff?
Yeah, they were.
Did like your friends dig that and thought that?
But I'm just that much older than you were.
Right.
We're in high school. They were. What year's American band? We're in America. I got
the 73.
I think you may be right. 73. We're in America.
I mean, it's an early Todd production. Of course, Todd started producing 69, 70.
Yeah,
Rachel, she needs a nap. Rachel's busy. I'm keeping her up.
We're an American band. 7th studio album, 73, July 15th, 73.
But that record, okay, because before
I'm 15 years old. I'm 15 years old. I mean, I'm the total right age for that.
But do you think when listening to Grand Funk, do you think those like Shining On and American Band, the Todd Rundgren runs, do you think that those records stand out a little bit more than the previous ones? Or what do you like? I'm asking you, Rachel, what do you like of Grand Funk?
Well, like I say, I like the hits mostly. I've got three or four of their albums, but it's like Blue Oyster Cult. I put them in the same category as that. Don't Fear the Reaper stands out. Yeah.
Oh, Ernesto. How would you guys like to be remembered if YouTube disappeared tomorrow?
Oh,
I don't want to be remembered. I just want to have good music discussions because I don't have an outlet. All you people, everybody that comes on my show or people that come on Rachel's show, we need to talk music. And that's what YouTube has brought me, is a bunch of new friends, a bunch of new people that it's really been wonderful.
We don't speak the same language, and we're interested in the same thing, and we influence one another, and we encourage one another in the pursuit of this thing. I make videos because of Mazzy. I saw him talk and do it, and I was so intrigued and so captivated by his ability to tell a tale. I went, I got to try this. I got to do this. But I knew I'd be good at it, but I knew I could not do what he does. Mazzy nobody can touch him. He's the best. In my opinion.
Now we figured out how old DC is. He never really tells us his age.
Yeah, DC rocks. And he likes,
now we know.
He and I are products of the same, we're the same generation, same age. So we're all influenced by the same generation of stuff, like the cartoons and all the toys that came out for our age group all happened.
So Annie T, your friends liked Grand Funk in high school? Is that what you're talking about?
Hey, give Grant a thumbs up here, please, everybody, because the algorithms kick in. Once we get 50 people here, thumbs up, then it helps us out.
Does it really? Is 50 thumbs up? I don't know how many we've got.
If we get 50 thumbs up, that helps. So maybe we got 40 watching now. I don't know what we're got.
I don't know. We have 27 thumbs up.
33 watching.
Oh, yeah. If you refresh it, you got more thumbs up than that.
More than 27?
Yeah, you got more.
28.
Okay.
Oh, well. Yeah, but what time is it? We've been on an hour. We're going to be winding this up pretty soon.
Yeah.
That's what I really... Yeah, well, we try to talk. We got derailed with political stuff, but it was fun. It's just about talking shit. Yeah. Grand Funk rocks, period. Okay.
And the thing for you and me, Grant, I think just from our little bit here, it sounds like you and I are pretty much on the same page on some level. I mean, we're same page-ish, let's say, when it came to our political view.
Well, I'm not, I don't try to get political, but I just think everything is...
The way you were talking, I went, I agree with that.
I'm just saying. I was, my whole life I was a Democrat, so... Exactly, Grant. Eric and I at the Upper had a chance to talk music. It's kind of like a dating app. It's kind of like a dating app for music.
Yeah.
Well, no one's dating, but we get to have these discussions.
Well, some are. There have been famous hookups.
Some did like Grand Funk back in the day. All right. I grew up with, okay.
Yeah, the Peanuts held up their end there, Norman.
Having chats in the record store among friends is pre-YouTube. Well, this is what this is replaced. Though we do have a record store in town and people do talk music there.
Yeah.
But yes, this is taking the place of the record store chats for the most part. Yeah.
It's so funny when you're in a record store environment, there's always that sizing up. What does this guy know?
I missed. Well, there was some Trump bashing. You missed it.
Yeah, that's actually not the best one you want to get. And, there's a little bit of ego play that kicks in.
We're just, the thing is I found interesting about Grand Funk Railroad was that I didn't know their material, but found out how huge they were at the time. That was intriguing, so I dove right in. I'm curious how Mazzy looked at Grand Funk. He was in the record business. I bet you he didn't. I bet you he disliked Grand Funk. I'd put money on it. I don't think
he disliked them. I just don't think they were probably his main force.
I just don't.
Because we know what Mazzy likes.
I just can't imagine that he'd be listening to Grand Funk. I don't know why. It just doesn't seem like that would be in his wheelhouse. But I do like Shining On, and I do like We're an American Band. I think, like I said, what Todd did with those, he knew what to do with them.
Grand Funk fulfills that niche. I play some of these music. I play everything for Sue. And she goes, these are like a bar band. There's nothing really inspired about the music, but it's you're in the bar, you're drinking, and you got this band playing on stage, driving the entertainment going for the night.
But next week, DC's coming on my channel. We're going to look at that Grand Funk live album.
Okay.
Because DC's going, in all fairness, that's a great live album. I'm not saying it is. I want to wait to what my thoughts, when we get to the show, we'll talk about it. But he digs it, and we're going to look at it, and I don't know. I've been listening to it. I don't know exactly what I don't know.
We
I'm
mocked
keep quiet.
them.
I can't say anything yet, but we are going to look at it next week.
Mazzy mocked Grand Funk.
Oh, I was selling Grand Funk in a store in 73. We mocked the band. So
You bastard.
Mazzy, why'd you mock them? For what reason? Yeah, what was it about them what made you want to mock them? I'm interested. They have a lot. Well, they just have a lot of material.
It always comes back to Grand Funk.
People still dig Grand Funk.
Yeah.
I'm your but I'm Your Captain doesn't seem like Grand Funk so much to me. It almost seems kind of like a proggy pop. I don't know what it doesn't seem like Grand Funk, because whenever we were talking about this on my channel, Grand Funk is like hey everybody, foot stomping music. It's a
beer drinking.
Yeah, it's like foot stomping. I don't know.
E Pluribus Unum, the Grand Funk. I got that album in the racks here.
The first live album, Brian sees what we're going to look at next week. So everybody tune in. We might do that thing live. I don't know. We'll see. The round cover was a pain in the shelves. And the thing is it because Grand Funk, I know they sold out Shea Stadium. I got that. Did they sell a lot of records back in the day? Because they pumped, think about that. Embossed, silver, coin, E Pluribus, they pumped some money into that band,
Yeah.
Did they really sell a lot back in the day? I don't know.
They were gold records. They did a lot of gold records for sure.
Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds had amazing synergy. They were snazzy dressers.
Oh, pull your love out on me, baby. Take my heart, my soul, my money. Don't leave me here down.
Okay, here we go. I think DC mentioned this before. The music intelligentsia did not like Grand Funk Railroad. They were a band of the people.
Yeah.
But they didn't speak to Mazzy. That's for damn sure. We don't forget Wall Puncher's Christmas special. We are doing a Wall Puncher's Christmas special where we're talking about Christmas songs that we despise. Everything. It's all full of good cheer while I'm reflecting
But you're teasing it.
Yeah, we're teasing it. It's just some good fun. Don't listen to Mazzy. Grand Funk rocks. I'm just interested to know what people think. Oh, yeah, I've gotten into this channel with others through Larry Graves and our mutual love of Sparks.
Yeah.
We're doing another Sparks episode. Larry will be back we do it in December or January. I can't remember, but we've assembled a much larger panel, Morris. So really? Larry will be back. We're going to look at he basically put the panel together, said, Grant, get these people. Yeah. All Sparks enthusiasts. Stephen Schnee will be there for the next one. And we will be looking at Sparks in the 80s. So stay tuned, Morris. Larry's back.
Yeah, I got a couple of Sparks 80s. And of course, I got their 70s stuff, but like Kimono My House, which is a great album. And also, what's the one with the crashed airplane? I got that one.
It came out after Kimono.
I'll look it up. I got Scott's here.
Which one came out? Kimono, and then the one where they're in the boat, and then the plane crash. That's the order.
Okay, let me go. What am I going?
We threw it across the street like a frisbee. They they flew pretty well too, maybe.
Okay, Sparks. I've got a few Sparks albums. What have I got? I've got Kimono My House reissue. I got Pulling Rabbits Out of a Hat, 84. That'll be one. Indiscreet from 1975 is the one with the airplane crash. Indiscreet.
How do you Beatles fans think about Grand Funk selling out Shea Stadium faster than the Beatles? Is that true, or is that folklore? Is that true?
It's a different world. It's a whole different world. By that time, the society is up on things. I don't think you can compare one era to another.
That's true.
It's all records can be broken, and this thing with time and passing, right?
See, Maslov thinks they do rock. I'll give them that. Oh, wait a minute, Dan. Wall Puncher's Christmas brings a tear to my eye like the Waltons' Christmas did. Oh, my
That's
goodness.
an absolutely beautiful thought.
I saw them when Kimona in My House came out.
They were on Midnight Special and in concert stuff, and This Town Ain't Big Enough for both of us. And when they did that, I thought they were English, and it was like it's Russell and let's see, Russell Mail and
Russell and Ron.
Russell and Ronald. So with this little Hitler mustache, we just laughed our heads off at that guy. We thought, man, that is so trippy.
Propaganda's good.
I don't want to advocate any drug use, but they were kind of fun if you'd have a little pop, and then you'd look at Ronald. It was funny.
Oh, Mark Farner recently said that, yes, they broke the record. Okay.
Yeah. Dan, I will kick your ass. I will. This is a horrible comment.
Come on, Dan. You're just poking the bear on that. Come on. Half Nelson. That's a good record, too. What was that, Todd? Yeah, Todd produced that. Speaking of Todd. Well, Rachel, how long have we went? An hour?
145. 145.
Wow. I don't think I'm about done. I think I've talked myself.
I had a good time. This is great. Yeah.
Hey, you're late.
Nick, give him a thumbs up so that
give us a thumbs up. We need another thumbs up.
Yeah, we need that. We're fighting for a thumbs up. I'm going to learn from you because look at the big, like we got Novice Nick. Look how big Nick's avatar and everything is. Looks so good here. I want to get.
I don't know. I haven't set anything up different.
No, but it just looks incredible. Yeah.
The Beatles created Stadium Rock at Shea. They did do that. It wasn't Grand Funk.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be the first. Wouldn't Shea be the first Stadium Rock show?
It was the first big one, yeah.
They ruined it for everybody. Of course, the Beatles they were the trailblazers for everything. We could blame the Beatles for modern music and how horrible it is.
Well, Elvis too, though. I want to thank you for having me on, Greg.
Yeah, it's fun.
Merry Christmas to you and your family and your loved ones, and all the best for you in 2024. Are you going to be doing a New Year's resolution or anything like that?
I don't, just to do some more great content.
Yeah. Well, your channel, congratulations on all the channel growth. You gained like 4,000. I've watched
I'm not getting them like I used to, though.
Well, those what you were talking about, the shorts really did help both of us. So
now the shorts are just. Yeah. I haven't done any for like 3 weeks. Yeah. See if it'll do.
All right, buddy.
All right, we'll see you. We'll. You guys want Rachel back? We'll have Rachel back in January. We can get something on the calendar. We'll do like at the end of the month or something.
Yeah, it's so casual and easy. I really enjoy.
Because I like this show. So. And I don't do any other shows like this, so I like it. So
it's a little different.
And if you want to come back, I say we keep doing like a once-a-month thing or something.
Sure. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming on. Check out Rachel's channel. Please like, subscribe, and please give me another thumbs up if you can. Thanks for all the comments. Tomorrow in the Warehouse, we will be doing an 80s listening party starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 hours of 80s. Come by, join in the chat. I want to hear from you. We will shoot the shit like we always do. And then next week, there's tons of shows. Next week's another one of those weeks where I'm booked to the gills because, well, we're getting ready for the holidays. So if I can get through next week, ladies and gentlemen, it'll be a
Christmas miracle.
And then Friday, we're doing the Christmas show a week from yesterday. Christmas show on Friday. So be ready for that. All right, everybody. We'll see you. Rachel, thanks for coming on. We will see you. And everybody keep it clean.
All right. Take care. Want me to hang around? Want me to blow out?
No.